from 147 to 168 and the win, become undisputed. Wow.
I want to go up to 68. So who would you fight at 68?
Seems that Crawford is not done attacking Canelo. In another recent verbal jab, Crawford threw words at the Mexican star, assuring him that he will knock him out. And from what it seems, Crawford is trying his best to get into Canelo's head.
Catch weight. You can do something at a catch weight.
What weight you think?
Probably like 160 or something.
You said 154 is the highest you want to go.
Yeah, 158.
The tension between Canelo and Crawford has been building on for months, ever since Crawford's decisive victory over Errol Spence Jr. and the subsequent speculation about a super fight with Canelo.
Fighting on real guys at 47.
Everyone's talking about Errol fighting the winner of Canelo and Jamel. Could you ever do that? Is that too much weight? Or?
What, 168?
Yeah.
Right.
So you got Canelo winning then, right?
Definitely. If he fighting at 168.
Even at catchweight, I'll still beat you, Crawford boldly declared. This proclamation came shortly after their heated face-off, where tempers flared and a near brawl ensued. Crawford's confidence was evident, and he made it clear that he believes his skills and tenacity would prevail, regardless of the weight class.
159 puntos.
168!
The animosity between Crawford and Canelo has been building for some time now. After Crawford's stunning performance against Spence in July 2023, where he unified the welterweight division, talks of a potential clash with Canelo gained momentum. And everyone around the sport speculated about the dynamics of a fight between the undefeated welterweight champion and the seasoned middleweight king. Canelo seemed an imposing challenge for Crawford, who prides himself on his speed, agility, and strategic mastery.
He has a good skills, but most of people think about him like he's untouchable, or he's unstoppable, or he has enough power to beat super heavyweights. Sometimes it's funny to...
Crawford, never one to shy away from confrontation, fired the first verbal jab. "You're afraid to face real competition," he said, referencing Canelo's history of carefully selected opponents. "You pick fights where you know you have the upper hand, but with me, you won't have that luxury." The verbal sparring escalated quickly, with both fighters stepping closer, their entourages on high alert to prevent any physical altercation.
I think number one right now in boxing, Inoue or Crawford?
Me.
I should have prefaced that, but besides you.
Pay attention. Besides me, I think it's hard to say because both fighters are good. You choose.
Crawford, undeterred, continued his onslaught. "You think you're invincible because of your power, but skills pay the bills. I'll outbox you, outthink you, and outlast you, just like I did with Spence." The tension is still growing, with fans and reporters holding their breath, anticipating a physical clash at any moment.
I saw you out there playing football, bro. I know you can run and pass like that. I'm an all-around athlete. There ain't nothing I can't do. So what you doing there? Enjoy yourself since...
Crawford's boldness and undying confidence have only fueled the fire. In subsequent word exchange, he has continued to push the narrative that Canelo is avoiding a true test of his abilities. "He's scared," Crawford asserted. "He knows that facing me is a risk he can't afford to take. He'd rather fight opponents who are past their prime or not in their peak form, but he can't dodge me forever." Crawford didn't hesitate on saying how he would win against Canelo. "It's all about preparation and strategy. I've studied Canelo's fights. I know his weaknesses. He's powerful, no doubt, but he's not unbeatable. His stamina fades in the later rounds. You saw that with Floyd, and he struggles with fighters who are fast and elusive. I'll exploit those weaknesses. Catch weight or not, I'm coming out on top."
A lot of boxers don't do this. This is why Canelo's not fighting Benavidez. Why would Canelo fight Benavidez, who's relatively unknown, and Benavidez...
The prospect of a catchweight fight has been a contentious point in the negotiations. Canelo, who typically fights at super middleweight, has been reluctant to drop down significantly in weight, while Crawford, a natural welterweight, would need to bulk up. Despite these challenges, both fighters seem eager to make the bout happen, understanding the historic significance and financial windfall such a matchup would bring. As negotiations continue, the boxing world is filled with speculations. Promoters are working tirelessly behind the scenes to iron out the details, while fans flood social media with their predictions and opinions. The potential showdown has all the makings of a classic, reminiscent of the great rivalries of the past like Ali Frazier and Leonard Hearns. Adding to the drama, boxing legends have weighed in on the prospective fight. Hall of Famer Sugar Ray Leonard recently commented, "This could be one of the greatest fights of this generation. Crawford's tactical brilliance against Canelo's brute strength, it's the perfect clash of styles. I can't wait to see how it unfolds. Crawford can do it. I did it in my earlier days, and I believe Crawford can move up weight class and still take Canelo down."
Believe and think that Canelo might not choose Benavidez as one of his fights and just kind of skip over that?
Who knows? Yeah, who knows? I mean, one thing about Canelo is that look, the history shows that yeah, he's fighting the top guys. He's taking all the challenges.
Teddy Atlas, known for his candid assessments, offered his perspective on his podcast, The Fight with Teddy Atlas. Crawford's right about one thing. Skills do pay the bills, but let's not underestimate Canelo. He's been in some brutal wars and comes out on top. This fight will test both men in ways they've never been tested before.
Consider Israel the best 154-pounder in the division right now. So why not go for the top guy in the division right off the bat? I want to leave a legacy that's never been left before. You know, inside and outside the ring, business.
The fighters themselves have continued to stoke the flames of anticipation. On social media, they've exchanged barbs, each trying to get under the other's skin. Now, as you all know, David Benavidez has also been calling out Canelo, and Crawford also just recently commented on this. What's even more interesting here is Crawford suggested that Canelo could outskill Benavidez. The two-time 168-pound champion is still undefeated but currently without any titles, given that Canelo has been holding on to all four in the division since late 2021.
$150 million, it could happen in November. If he won is 60 to 100, it can happen in September, because you don't need to go to city to make that money. You know? Despite being the WBC #1 contender and interim champ, Benavidez has had no luck securing Canelo's interest, with the elite Mexican demanding a $200 million payday for the defense. This situation has created a complex landscape in the super middleweight division, where top fighters are jostling for their chance at the throne. Benavidez, known for his relentless fighting style and powerful punches, has been vocal about his desire to face Canelo, believing that his performances warrant a shot at the undisputed champion. His recent victory over the previously undefeated Demetrius Andrade only added to his credibility, showcasing his skills and further fueling his campaign for a fight against Canelo.
Got done watching the Jaime Munguia Canelo fight. Was a good fight. They didn't win exactly how I expected, but hats off to both fighters.
Interestingly, Terence Crawford has also weighed in on Benavidez's pursuit. Speaking to Fight Hype following Benavidez's last performance, Crawford expressed his belief that El Monsturo was ready to face Canelo. Despite his own desires to fight Canelo, Crawford branded the potential bout between Benavidez and Canelo a pick'em, acknowledging the strengths of both fighters. He's coming behind his jab, he's throwing straight punches, going to the body and then up and down. He's just got to tighten up a little bit on his defense, but other than that, he's good. He is ready for Canelo, Crawford commented.
But if you want 150, you need to work for that. And the TV will not agree on 3 months' notice. There's no way the TV and whoever put the money, because we are promoter, but really the money is coming.
His assessment highlights the respect he has for Benavidez's abilities while still recognizing the greatness of Canelo. Crawford continued, "I still got it a 50-50ths. Benavidez is good, but Canelo is great. We've just got to see the fight, man. We all want to see the fight. You've got two strong fighters going head to head." This statement from Crawford is significant as it underscores the high regard he holds for both fighters, despite his own ambitions to climb up to super middleweight and challenge Canelo himself. When asked if his super middleweight dreams were restricted only to Canelo or if he would consider facing Benavidez, Crawford was unequivocal in his response. "Yeah, Canelo the only one," he asserted. This clear focus on Canelo highlights Crawford's strategic approach to his career, aiming for the most prestigious and high-profile fights that would cement his legacy in boxing history. Crawford's move to super welterweight is already in motion, with a scheduled fight against champion Israel Madrimov on August 3rd. This bout will serve as a stepping stone for Crawford as he adjusts to the higher weight class and prepares for the eventual leap to super middleweight. His ambition and determination to challenge Canelo showcase his unwavering drive to prove himself against the best in the sport. Meanwhile, Benavidez, after unsuccessfully chasing the Canelo fight, is making his light heavyweight debut on June 15th. This shift in weight class demonstrates Benavidez's versatility and willingness to explore new challenges, even as he continues to seek the elusive bout with Canelo. His journey through the ranks has been marked by impressive victories and an unyielding pursuit of greatness, qualities that resonate with fans and critics alike.
Canelo fight, realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk. With the right business come across the table, it'll happen.
All this comes after Canelo set his price for him to accept fights, and it is only after several call-outs that Canelo Alvarez has finally agreed to a potential legacy fight against the undefeated Terence Crawford. In the months following this all-timer performance with Spence, the 36-year-old Crawford has been targeting a fight with the Mexican icon Canelo Alvarez. It now seems that the interest is mutual, setting the stage for a showdown that could define both fighters' legacies. Canelo Alvarez, initially hesitant about facing Crawford, has changed his mindset regarding the potential bout. While attending a No Golf No Life presentation, Canelo discussed the possibility of the fight and expressed his newfound openness to the idea. "Crawford is a great fighter, obviously, but he's 3 divisions below," Canelo remarked. His acknowledgement of Crawford's prowess, despite the difference in weight classes, signals a significant shift in his attitude toward this matchup. Canelo further elaborated on his willingness to face Crawford, citing his extensive experience fighting opponents of various sizes and ages. "As I've said before, I've fought bigger guys in my category, smaller guys, older guys, younger guys," he stated. This confidence stems from his illustrious career, where he has faced and defeated a wide range of opponents, proving his adaptability and skill in the ring. However, Canelo emphasized that any potential fight must be on terms that suit him best. "At the end of the day, I was born to fight and I'll fight anyone, obviously on terms that suit me best," he asserted. This pragmatic approach highlights Canelo's awareness of the importance of negotiating favorable conditions, particularly in terms of weight and financial compensation. "At this point in my career, I'll always make the best fights, but they have to benefit me. It depends on the money, but why not?" Canelo's pragmatic approach reflects his seasoned understanding of the sport's business side, ensuring that any fight he takes on aligns with his career goals and financial interests. Canelo Alvarez showed his class in his most recent fight just few weeks ago, earning a dominant decision victory over his fellow countryman, Jaime Munguia. This victory reinforced his status as a dominant force in boxing and demonstrated his ability to stay at the top of his game despite facing relentless competition. His willingness to entertain a fight with Crawford underscores his desire to continue taking on the best challengers, solidifying his legacy as one of the greatest fighters of his era. To add to all the buildup, promoter Eddie Hearn, who has worked extensively with Canelo Alvarez over the past few years, but is not currently involved with him due to a deal with PBC, recently spoke to Fight Hub TV about the potential Canelo versus Terence Crawford fight. Hearn made it clear that the only way this fight could come to fruition is with the involvement of Turki Alalshik. "That's down to His Excellency. The only person who can make that fight is His Excellency because of what Canelo wants for it. You're gonna have to pay up for it, and that's the only way to get the money that Saul wants," Hearn stated.
Great play, because you never know. Someone might pay it. But what's the point in coming out and saying, "Give me 75 million and I'll fight Benavidez," because someone will just go, "Done.
Yeah.
Give me 200. As they say, shoot for the stars, and if you miss, you land on the clouds. Shoot for the clouds, you miss, you land on your ass.
This insight from Hearn sheds light on the significant financial considerations at play. Canelo, a boxing superstar with immense market value, has set high monetary demands for his fights. His recent demand of $150, $200 million for a fight with his WBC mandatory challenger David Benavidez, underscores the kind of financial expectations he has. Translating this into a potential bout with Crawford suggests that securing the necessary funds will be a monumental task, one that only someone with the financial clout and interest like His Excellency Turki Alalshik can achieve. Fortunately for boxing fans eager to see this showdown, Saudi Arabia's Turki Al-Sheikh has expressed his interest in making the fight happen. Al-Sheikh, known for his influential role in sports promotions in Saudi Arabia, has the financial resources and motivation to bring such high-profile bouts to the kingdom. His involvement could be the key to overcoming the financial hurdles and setting the stage for a historic fight between Canelo and Crawford. Adding another layer of intrigue to the situation is Crawford's recent announcement as one of 3 ambassadors for the Riyadh season promotion. This connection to Saudi Arabia further aligns Crawford's interests with those of Al-Sheikh, creating a synergy that could facilitate the negotiations and planning required to bring the fight to fruition. Canelo's high valuation of his bouts reflects his status as one of the biggest names in boxing. His career, marked by victories over numerous top-tier opponents and multiple championships across different weight classes, justifies his financial demands. However, these demands also create significant barriers to organizing fights, especially against opponents who might not bring in equivalent market value. In Crawford's case, despite his undisputed talent and undefeated record, the financial draw might not naturally align with Canelo's asking price without the backing of a heavyweight promoter like Al-Sheikh. Now, after this fight with these massive returns, if you were Crawford, you'd only consider retirement. And that's also something Crawford has hinted. Now, Canelo Alvarez finds himself in a no-win situation, where he likely won't receive any credit even if he obliterates Terence Crawford. This predicament isn't unfamiliar territory for Canelo, who faced similar criticism when he defended his 168 lb titles against Jermell Charlo, who had moved up 2 divisions from 154 to challenge him in 2023. Critics were quick to point out that Canelo was fighting a smaller opponent, which, in their view, diminished the significance of his victory. The prospect of a fight against Crawford, while intriguing, carries the same potential for criticism. Despite Crawford's impressive skills and undefeated record, he would be coming up 3 weight classes to face Canelo. Should Canelo win, detractors would likely dismiss the victory, arguing that he was merely overpowering a smaller fighter once again. This narrative poses a significant challenge for Canelo, who is continually seeking to solidify his legacy and earn respect as one of the greatest fighters of his generation. Before Crawford and his trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, can seriously discuss a possible fight against Canelo, they must first defeat WBA junior middleweight champion Israel Madrimov on August 3rd in Los Angeles. This is no guaranteed win for Crawford, who will be nearly 37 and coming off a year-long layoff when he moves up a division to battle the unbeaten Madrimov at the BMO Stadium in Los Angeles. The fight against Madrimov represents a significant challenge and a crucial stepping stone on Crawford's path to a potential showdown with Canelo. Madrimov presents a formidable roadblock for Crawford. One advantage Crawford has in this fight is his hand speed. He's faster than Madrimov, and he will look to exploit that speed advantage. However, if Crawford struggles to keep Madrimov off or tires out during the fight, it will become a tough battle. The younger, more powerful Madrimov could potentially knock out Crawford, derailing his plans for a lucrative fight with Canelo and taking the golden parachute retirement payday off the table. Crawford is a 37-year-old fighter moving up a division after a long break, and it might be asking too much of his aging body. While he did well moving up to 147, his opponents were considered less challenging than what he will face at 154. His past victories include fights against Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez Jr., David Avanesian, a past his prime Sean Porter. None of these opponents compare to the challenge posed by Madrimov, making the August fight a true test of Crawford's capabilities at a higher weight class. Bud has got it in him to defeat Canelo. I can see him doing it. Is it a challenge for him? Of course. Is it a challenge for the whole team? Of course, but that's what we're in the business for, being great, said Bomac to Fight Hub TV, expressing his belief that Crawford has the tools to beat Canelo Alvarez if or when they fight. Bomac's confidence in Crawford is unwavering, but fans would likely find his statements more believable if Crawford first demonstrated his ability to compete with the top fighters at 168, such as David Morrell and David Benavidez, before jumping into a retirement payday against Canelo. The direct leap from facing Madrimov at 154 to challenging Canelo at 168 appears ambitious and possibly unrealistic. It suggests a potential cash grab move, reminiscent of what fans witnessed last year when Jermell Charlo moved up from 154 to fight Canelo, lost decisively, and has been largely absent from the scene since. For many, this approach undermines the credibility of Crawford's challenge and raises questions about his readiness to face a fighter of Canelo's caliber at a significantly higher weight class.
Just look at Canelo like he can be beat. He's been beat before, so he can definitely, Buck got the tools to beat him. I mean, Buck got it in him. He has it in him.
Bomac, however, remains focused on the immediate task at hand. "My mind is on Madrimov," he emphasized, not wanting to overlook Crawford's upcoming fight against the WBA junior middleweight champion. This focus is crucial as Madrimov is not an opponent to be underestimated. A loss to Madrimov would not only derail Crawford's plans for a fight with Canelo, but could also significantly impact his career trajectory and legacy. In this scenario, both Canelo and Crawford face unique challenges. Canelo must navigate the criticism that comes with fighting a smaller opponent, while Crawford must prove his ability to compete at a higher weight class against a formidable champion like Madrimov. Their potential clash, while highly anticipated, is fraught with obstacles that must be overcome before it can become a reality. For Canelo, the no-win situation means that even a victory over Crawford might not bring the validation he seeks. For Crawford, the journey to Canelo involves navigating a dangerous path through Madrimov, a fight that will test his limits and readiness for the ultimate challenge against the Mexican superstar. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates. See you in the next one.